Hello, this is Gray Hughes. I'm going to go over a couple incidents right now in the Austin bombing case. One of my viewers, I don't know if he's a subscriber or not, but Jib Camera is his name. He mentioned to me that there was an incident involving paramedics that were sent to the suspect's house at 403 2nd Street North in Pfluger, Texas. Okay, that's the suspect's house. They were sent there, and the message went haywire. It was delivered incorrectly, and it potentially caused a dangerous situation. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about was while looking at that incident, there was a better image of the house as it currently is. And I've noticed drastic differences. It's the same house, but there's been a lot of remodeling since the 2013 Street View image. And I think in 2013, he probably didn't own the home, the killer. He probably purchased the home in the last 2 or 3 years, I would imagine. Okay, and I'm curious if he is the one that did the remodeling, because the changes he made are pretty interesting. Okay, all right, but let's first go over that article. All right, so the main part down here is a slip-up accelerates the case. All right, it says the authorities knew Mr. Condit would send or place another homemade bomb. The question was when, not if. A series of leads had brought investigators to him, including surveillance footage inside and near a FedEx store where he had shipped 2 packages loaded with explosives. Starting with the license plate from a different truck he drove, agents were able to track his cell phone number and the construction gloves he had worn while shipping the bombs. The clues all came together where Mr. Condit was on Wednesday morning in the darkened parking lot of Interstate 35. The showdown started with an apparent mistake. Okay, so here it is. At 1 minute past 4 p.m., so gosh, I mean 8 hours prior almost, 1 minute past 4 p.m. on Tuesday, paramedics were notified about an unknown medical alarm at Mr. Condit's home, the home of the killer in Pflugerville. 2 paramedics from the Pflugerville Fire Department responded. Okay, so a person inside the home, it was unclear whom, answered the door and told the medics no one there had called 911. The paramedics cleared out at 4:11 p.m., so they were only there for 10 minutes. But I read in another article where there was a second voice in the background who also confirmed it. No, we didn't call anybody. From an incident report released Friday by the Pflugerville Fire Department, it now appears that a request by investigators for paramedics to remain near the house, so they were just sort of to kind of remain in the background, don't go to the house, so remain near the house, was relayed instead as a call for immediate medical aid to the residents. It is possible that Mr. Condit himself had come to the door or was home at the time, maybe he was that other voice, and began to suspect the authorities were closing in. Finding paramedics at his door could have been the reason Mr. Condit drove to Round Rock and appeared to be taking steps that signaled he knew the police were on his tail. At some point in the hours to come, he left a roughly 25-minute recording on his phone that officials described as a confession. Law enforcement officials said the miscommunication involving the paramedics was under review. Okay, so wow, I mean, that was very dangerous for those paramedics. Had just the killer been there, hell, he might have blown them up. All right. Okay, so now let's get to what I was noticing in the images of the home. Okay, so here we are again. Here's Google Earth, and this is where he lives, or lived, 403 2nd Street North, on 2nd Street North. And you go down, and Google Earth, this is May 2013. There's a more recent image in one of the articles I was reading. Okay, so I took that image and I put it side by side. All right, so let's open that up. Now look at this. Look at the changes that have been made. All right, this is what a normal home front would look like. You know, most people, when they have a home, they want a welcoming, you know, front entrance. There's the sidewalk here. There's a sidewalk there. This tree right here is the same as this tree. It's just filmed on this side. The fence is the same. These pillars are the same. But if you look, there's been new siding put on. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, it's a lot thinner. And up here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, maybe there's 8. Okay, so new siding was put on. But the biggest change, and the one that's most concerning, is that it appears that the entire, you know, front door area has been removed. All they have there now is a window. And then over here where there was a large window, it looks like there's a window. And I'm not sure if this was a new door that was put in. Kind of has that shape though, doesn't it, of a door? And it looks like maybe they busted it down and they've put this plywood up, okay? But, or it could just be that they used the back to enter. I find it very strange that he remodeled it in a way that makes it much harder to see into the house from the normal street position that somebody might come by. It's almost like he had been planning this for a long time. Okay? Because this is never going to be a way that anybody would recommend remodeling your home. You know, yes, remodel your home so that from the street it looks like the back of your house. You know, nobody wants that, right? It doesn't look normal. Okay, the old house had a door right there underneath the awning, basically, and that looked normal. But look at a tiny little window. I mean, this is just the bare minimum stuff here. Okay. Yeah, so also a friend of mine, Elizabeth Snow, posted the same article that the Jib camera guy posted. It was similar. It wasn't the same article, but a similar one. It didn't have as much explanation, though, as the one that Jib camera gave me. But it did have the extra information about that there was somebody else in the house that also confirmed it. Okay, now another thing that I thought was weird was a couple days ago, this house here wasn't blurred out. But look at this. Google Earth literally... Anybody can do this, by the way. You can go on to, I guess, Street View somewhere. You can just type it in, how to blur your house off on Street View. And it's like, this person completely blurred out their home. I mean, you can tell it's a nicer home, too. I'm not sure why Google Earth just shot me about 100,000 feet up in the air right there. But we're going to come in here, and you can see that the house that's blurred out is this larger house right here. Okay, so that house is completely blurred out at this point. And I guess you can imagine why, right? Now people can't, you know, look at it and try to, oh, look at that car. It looks like, you know, that's what people do. Somehow these guys would end up being accused of something. So I guess good for them, all right? But I just wanted to point that out, that everything, no matter where you are on any of these streets, that's blurred out. So they must have some crazy algorithm that can actually, no matter what angle you're looking at, it knows where the homes are and can blur them out. I don't know why that's blurry right there, okay? There must have been an alien crouched down next to that fence that the NSA said, hey, can you get rid of that alien for us? All right. I find it strange that there's been this much remodeling done to this home, and it appears that they just didn't want anybody looking into their home, really. Just a couple windows. I mean, that's literally what the back of a house normally looks like. Okay, and that's it, all right? I just wanted to fill you on a couple of these interesting 2 new little bits of information. And I guess until next time, be safe out there, all right? I'm sorry it was a little bit shorter than normal, but that's all I had, all right? Talk to you later.